It's 7 a.m. You're 30 years old, and you have nothing. No savings, no investments, $4,000 of credit card debt, a job that pays okay, and a decade of financial decisions you'd rather not talk about. This is the most requested scenario in all of personal finance. It's too late for me, isn't it? And today I'm answering it properly, not with motivation, with a plan. Week 1, month 1, year 1. Exact moves, exact numbers, exact order, plus the 3 fastest ways to raise your income in 90 days, and the protocol for the day the plan goes wrong, because it will. And before we start, one fact to hold on to. At 30, you likely have over 35 working years ahead of you. That is more time than most of history's greatest fortunes took to build. You're not late, you're early, with scars. Let's start the clock. First, the obstacle nobody puts in the plan, the one that's kept you at zero longer than any bill: shame. Being broke at 30 in a culture of highlight reels doesn't just cost money, it costs the willingness to look, and not looking is the most expensive habit on earth. Unopened statements still charge interest. Avoided balances still compound. The debt doesn't care about your feelings, but your feelings are protecting the debt. So here's the reframe you need before step 1, and I mean this literally. Your net worth is not your worth. It's a number describing your past decisions and your starting conditions, some of which, let's be honest, you didn't choose. The job market you graduated into, the family you came from, the emergencies that hit you. 0 at 30 usually isn't a character verdict. It's an address, and addresses can be moved from. The practical version of this reframe: for the next hour, you are not the defendant. You're the accountant. Accountants don't cry over ledgers. They read them. Every successful comeback I've ever seen starts the same way. One person, one table, one honest hour, 0 self-flagellation. That hour is next. Bring coffee, not guilt. Week 1 has exactly one goal: stop the bleeding. Not investing, not side hustles. Triage. Day 1. Face the number. Every account, every debt, every balance on one page. This is the step people avoid for years, and it takes 40 minutes. You cannot fix what you refuse to look at. And here's the relief nobody tells you. The dread is almost always worse than the number. Day 2. Cut the automatic leaks. Go through 3 months of statements and cancel every subscription and recurring charge you wouldn't sign up for again today. Typical result: $50 to $200 a month recovered in one evening. Day 3 through 7. Build the buffer. $1,000 as fast as humanly possible. Sell things you don't use, pick up extra shifts, whatever's legal and fast. This isn't your emergency fund yet. It's a firewall, so the next surprise bill doesn't go on the credit card. Without this $1,000, every plan collapses at the first flat tire. With the bleeding stopped, month 1 is about building the machine, the automatic system that runs your money so your willpower doesn't have to. If you watched our lifestyle creep video, you know willpower always loses. Systems don't. Set up 3 automatic moves that fire the morning after every payday. First, minimum payments on everything, plus every spare dollar aimed at the highest interest debt. At 20+% interest, killing card debt is the best guaranteed investment return on the planet. Second, a small automatic transfer to savings, even $50, because the habit matters before the amount does. Third, if your employer offers a retirement match, contribute exactly enough to capture all of it, even while in debt. The match is an instant 100% return. Leaving it unclaimed is refusing free money to pay off a 20% problem. Then set your living costs in stone: rent, food, transport, capped, boring, non-negotiable for the next 12 months. Not forever, 12 months. You're not building a lifestyle right now. You're building the machine that will pay for a lifestyle later. Months 2 through 6 run 2 campaigns at once. Campaign 1, kill the $4,000 in card debt using the avalanche. Highest interest rate first, minimums on the rest. On a tight but serious budget, $4,000 is dead in 4 to 6 months. The day it dies, redirect the entire payment amount to savings without missing a beat. The machine doesn't care what the pipe is called. Campaign 2, and this is the one broke at 30 plans always underweight. Attack the income side. There is a hard floor on what you can cut, but no ceiling on what you can earn. At 30, you have something 22-year-olds don't: 8 years of work history, contacts, and proof you can hold a job. 3 moves in order of return. Ask for the raise with documented results. A 5-minute conversation worth thousands a year. Learn the one skill that makes you more expensive in your field. And interview elsewhere, because the market pays switchers more than stayers. Job changers have historically out-earned loyal stayers in raise percentage nearly every year. The comeback isn't frugality. Frugality is the tourniquet. Income is the engine. And because learn a skill is uselessly vague advice, let me give you 3 actual ladders. Ladder 1, deepen. Whatever your field is, there is a certification, license, or credential that makes you measurably more expensive in it. The forklift ticket, the project management cert, the specialized software badge, the commercial license. These typically cost a few $100s and 60 to 90 days of evenings, and they routinely move salaries by 5 to 15% every year, forever. Highest certainty, because you're building on 8 years of existing experience instead of starting over. Ladder 2, adjacent. Add a skill your industry pays extra for, but most of your coworkers don't have: spreadsheet automation, basic data analysis, bookkeeping software, technical writing. Free to cheap to learn in 90 days of consistent evenings, and it either raises your value where you are or opens the job switch that pays switchers their premium. Ladder 3, service income. Not a dropshipping fantasy, boring local services with immediate cash flow: cleaning, hauling, handyman work, detailing, tutoring, freelancing the skill from your day job. A few hundred to a couple thousand a month, starting within weeks, and every dollar of it goes straight down the debt avalanche or into the buffer. The trap to avoid: anything that requires buying a course from a guy with a rented Lamborghini before you earn $1. Real side income is unglamorous, local, and cash flow positive in week 1, not month 12. Pick one ladder, 90 days. The math of this entire comeback changes more from 200 extra earned dollars a month than from any coupon you will ever clip. Somewhere around month 6, something historic happens. Your net worth crosses 0. Broke people celebrate paydays. You're going to celebrate this, because from here, the game flips from defense to offense. Offense has a strict order. First, grow the $1,000 firewall into a true emergency fund. 3 months of bare-bones expenses in a high-yield savings account. And you already know from our banking video, high yield, not the big bank 0.nothing account. Second, raise your retirement contribution past the match. Aim toward 10 to 15% of income as raises come in. Third, everything beyond that goes into a simple, boring, diversified index fund, automatically, every month, regardless of what the news is screaming. We'll cover exactly how index funds work in 2 days, so consider that homework. Notice what's not in the plan: crypto moonshots, options plays, passive income courses. When you're rebuilding from 0, you cannot afford to lose, and you don't need to gamble because the boring path already wins. It just wins quietly. Let's run the honest math on this comeback, because "it's possible" is cheap talk. Say the machine gets you to $500 a month invested by the end of year 1, growing as your income grows. At historical average market returns, that path crosses 6 figures within a decade. By 50, you're in the several $100,000 range. By 65, 35 years from that empty apartment, you're plausibly at or past the $1 million mark. From 0, at 30, without a single lucky break, windfall, or lottery ticket, just the machine running. And here's the twist that makes this video worth rewatching. The person who rebuilds from zero at 30 often ends up wealthier than someone who coasted from 22, because the system they were forced to build is exactly the system most people never build at all. The scar becomes the skill. Let's make it concrete with Alex's actual timeline, because plans feel abstract until you see the snapshots. Month 3. The $1,000 firewall exists. $200 a month in subscriptions and leaks are canceled. The avalanche has the card debt down to about $2,500, and ladder 3, weekend detailing work, is bringing in $400 a month. Nothing looks impressive yet. Everything is working. Month 6. The debt dies. Alex screenshots the zero balance. That screenshot matters. Frame it. The full former payment plus the side income now flows to savings. Month 12. 3 months of expenses sit in a high-yield account. The employer match is maxed, and $500 a month is buying index funds automatically. Net worth, roughly $8,000 to $10,000. 1 year from an empty apartment. Month 24. Somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000 of net worth, a raise or job switch captured along the way, and, this is the part nobody predicts, money stress has mostly gone quiet. Not because Alex is rich, because every dollar has a job, every bill has a plan, and the machine runs whether he's motivated or not. That feeling arrives years before wealth does. It's the first paycheck of the comeback. One last thing, because every real comeback hits bad days. The buffer will get drained by a car repair. A month will go sideways. The market will drop right after you start investing and make you feel like an idiot. So the plan ships with a relapse protocol, 3 steps in order for the day it breaks. Step 1. No shame spiral. You get 1 day to be annoyed, not 1 month. The audit mindset from the start of this video applies to setbacks too. Accountants don't cry over ledgers. Step 2. Refill the firewall. First, pause investing if you must, because the buffer is what keeps emergencies off the credit card, and the credit card is the only true reset button in this game. Step 3. Resume the automatic transfers within 30 days, even at half size. A machine running at 50% still beats a machine switched off, because the habit is the asset, and habits die in 0 months, not small months. A market dip while you're buying every month isn't a disaster, it's a discount. The only way this plan fails is if you stop running it. Progress won't feel fast. Month 3 feels pointless. Year 1 feels slow. Year 5 feels inevitable. Compounding is quiet right up until it's loud. One more piece of terrain knowledge, because it will save your morale. The first $10,000 is the hardest money you will ever accumulate, and it's not close. A famously blunt investor once said exactly that. The first $10,000 is a struggle, and after that, the game changes. He was right, and here's why it's mechanical, not motivational. At 0, compounding gives you nothing. 10% of nothing is nothing. Every dollar of your first $10,000 comes from one place, your own effort, fighting your own expenses at the exact stage of life when your income is lowest, and every system from week 1 is still half built. You're pushing the flywheel from a dead stop. Of course it feels impossible. It's supposed to. It's the entry fee the quitters never finish paying. But watch the arithmetic shift. At 10,000, average returns hand you 1,000 a year. Your first invisible employee. At 50,000, the portfolio's annual growth rivals a part-time job. At 100,000, it can out-earn your annual contributions entirely, which is why that milestone gets so much reverence. It's the summit where the mountain starts climbing itself. So for this comeback specifically, aim everything at 10,000. The buffer, the post-debt redirected payments, the ladder income, the windfall splits. One target. Expect it to take 1 to 2 grinding years and to feel disproportionately hard. That's the physics, not a verdict on you. Then expect the strangest thing. The second 10,000 arriving noticeably faster, the third faster still, until one day the machine celebrates milestones you didn't even notice approaching. The people who quit almost always quit below 10,000, on the steepest slope, judging the whole mountain by its hardest mile. Now you know the map. The grade eases. Keep climbing. The comeback compressed. Drop the shame tax and do the honest hour. Week 1, face the number, cut the leaks, build the $1,000 firewall. Month 1, automate the machine. Months 2 to 6, avalanche the debt and climb one income ladder. Months 6 to 12, emergency fund, match, boring index investing. Keep the relapse protocol laminated. Then never stop the machine. If you're watching this at 30 with nothing, you now have a better plan than most people with money have. Save this video, rewatch it at every milestone Alex hit. But maybe you're watching this thinking, I'm not at 0, but I have no idea if I'm actually okay. Tomorrow's video is for you, a 9-question money checkup you can score yourself on in real time, and most people score higher than they expect. Subscribe and come find out how you're really doing.